Hello to everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here today. Happy to walk you through the AbraSilver story. We have some key upcoming milestones that are ready to be announced imminently here. So certainly a very, very exciting time for the company. Of course, I'll be making some forward-looking statements here. AbraSilver is a high-growth silver and gold explorer. Our key asset is called Diablillos. As Brian already mentioned, this is in the Argentina, so this is in the mining-friendly Salta province of Argentina. Quite an advanced stage project already. And so this project's been around for quite some time, but we've managed to double the size of this over the last 4 years. And so back in November, we announced our most recent updated resource estimate. We're sitting on measured and indicated resource base here of just about 150 million ounces of silver and also 1.4 million ounces of gold. And this is all located in oxides, open pitable, close to surface, and leachable. So straightforward metallurgy here, easy to mine, cheap to process, etc. Now the important milestone we have coming up here is the pre-feasibility study. Our team's been working very hard behind the scenes here for the last half year or so on completing that pre-feasibility study. It's in the very final stages now of the peer review, and that will be published before the end of this month. So before the end of March, within the next couple of weeks here, we'll be announcing the pre-feasibility study results, which will quantify the economics here. And we feel highly confident this is going to prove to show a very robust project with extremely high rates of return. Now, what's important as we look beyond the pre-feasibility study is that there's still significant exploration upside ahead of us here, and I'll talk about that shortly. I think our team has proven, we have a strong track record. Our exploration team has shown that over the past 3 years, for every 11 cents we've spent in the ground, we've been able to add an ounce of silver equivalent, and that's in the M&I category. So we're not even including inferred resources here. So our geos at site have done a phenomenal job growing this deposit and importantly doing that on a very cost-efficient basis. And of course, this year with market conditions being where they are, our key priority has been to preserve our cash position. And so at the end of Q3, our last reported financials, we had about $7 million in cash. We're sitting here today with still over $5 million of cash, and we've completely funded now the pre-feasibility study. So that major spending is behind us. And so we've been preserving cash as tight as possible here. We have significant exploration upside ahead of us, but obviously waiting for the right market environment to be aggressively drilling those out. Now, Diablillos, again, is located in the mining-friendly Salta province of Argentina. And we've seen significant increase in investor optimism here in Argentina for the first time, really, I'd say in a generation. In the last 60 to 70 years, the outlook for Argentina is extremely bright as we look forward. Of course, Javier Milei has become the president now for just over 2 months. He took over office in December. His whole agenda is to deregulate the economy, really remove government bureaucracy, and encourage large investments. And so, of course, this is, excellent for all major, for the mining industry as a whole, but especially for a company that has a project that's ready to move to that construction decision stage within the next few years. And that's where we sit. With Diablillos, we have the pre-fees coming out very shortly, as I mentioned, and this could be ready for a construction decision as early as by the end of late 2025. And so in Salta, now Salta's always been a great jurisdiction. Even under the old administration, we're sitting right in the heart of the lithium triangle. And so there's major mines being built all around us. You can see there on, so you can see where we're sitting, our Diablillos project. Right around us, there's these green circles. Those are 4 large lithium projects being built. So billions of dollars of investment going in right around us. This region's always had great infrastructure, and it continues to improve. So we'll be a net beneficiary of that. And of course, there's other mines in production as well. Fortuna Silver built their Lindero gold project several years ago. And so we feel very strongly in saying that Diablillos will be the next project to enter construction. And it's really ideal time from the country perspective, I would say. This is what our project looks like. That's the main deposit. That's called Oculto. You can see, again, from a permitting standpoint, this is ideal. So we're up high elevation, but it's about 4,000 meters elevation, but it's a dry desert-like environment. And so we're not really in anybody's backyard here. The nearest village is a small community. It's over a 2-hour drive, about 200 kilometers to the north of us. They're there specifically for mining. And again, in Argentina, on the permitting perspective, you deal exclusively with the provinces. Salta's always been ranked as one of the best provinces in Argentina. And so after we announce the pre-feasibility study here, we'll be submitting the EIA application, which is your major environmental permits, and we expect that will be approved by 2025. This is an illustration of what the project will look like. Again, this is all located close to surface in oxides. And you can see there's that one major deposit, Oculto. That's been the focus here. I mean, this project was discovered back in the 90s. And all of the drilling really, up until last year, was focused exclusively on that main Oculto deposit. Now, last year, we discovered to the southwest this new area called the Jack deposit that you see there. We ran some geophysics, identified this magnetic low anomaly in an area that had no drilling done historically. We drilled the first hole, and right from that first hole, that hole hit about 30 meters or so of 300 grams of silver. And so, yeah, we've spent about $8 million drilling this in 2023, and that culminated into a resource of over 5 million tons here, grading north of 200 grams of silver with a little bit of gold on top of that. So this is high-grade rock here, and again, shows you the team's track record. So our exploration team is led by David O'Connor, who lives down in Salta. He has a wealth of experience. He's in his mid-70s. He's been to practically every mining project in South America over his career, and he's done a great job for us here. You can see when we took over running this company about 3 years ago, we've conducted 3 different phases of exploration. Each one of those has led to us increasing the resource by between 20 to 35%. And especially what's important, especially in this market, is we've done that on a very cost-efficient basis. And so per year, we've only spent between $5 to $8 million on exploration per year. And so with that rate of return, again, one of the best in the industry, if not the best, by being able to grow our resource base with only 11 cents an ounce over the last 3 years. And when you look at the silver results we've generated throughout that time, you rank silver intercepts for every primary silver asset in the world, held by majors or juniors, doesn't matter. And we're looking at primary silver assets here on a grade thickness basis. These are some of the top results in the industry over the last couple of years. You can see we've hit 6 of the top 13 best intercepts. And so that's the way we've been able to grow the resources by hitting, hundreds or 150 meter intercepts of very high grade mineralization. And again, because it's close to surface, it's cheap to drill and obviously adds bulk tonnage. Now, the way we discovered Jack, I mentioned, we ran a geophysical survey in late 2022. We saw this big magnetic low anomaly that you can see sort of in purple towards the southwest of the main Oculto deposit. That was never an area that was never explored. There had never been any drill holes there. So again, we drilled that first hole, came out with Jack, infill drilled that over the last year, and now that's the highest grade portion of our project here, with grades, again, of north of 200 grams there, whereas the average grade is about 150 grams. So still very high grade at Oculto, but Jack is obviously an ideal starter pit. So as part of the pre-feasibility study, you'll see us starting to mine at Jack, and so that adds high grades and high production profile of silver within the first 3 years of the mine plan here. Should lead to very efficient cost of capital. Now, what's important is we've only tested the surface, really. Even to date, we've done, we've never really tested the deeper sulfide intercepts, but when we've extended holes that were targeted for the oxides, and we've extended those down 50 or 100 meters beneath the oxide intercept, we've encountered dozens of high-grade copper intercepts here. And so there's significant porphyry potential. Copper has come along with high grades of gold and silver as well. And you can see this is open along strike for at least 2 kilometers from Jack all the way to the northeast there at Oculto. We've hit intercepts of 2-3% copper over tens of meters. And so that's, again, a significant target that remains to be drilled. Now, when you look at this and you show this on a silver equivalent basis and compare it to the resource of the projects held by the mid-tier silver producers, you can see this is a project that clearly stands out with over 250 million ounces of silver, and importantly, again, significant growth ahead of us here. This was a chart shown already by Brian. When you look at this from a gold equivalent standpoint, this is where we have more peers, I would say. So on the silver basis, most silver projects are deeper in sulfide, underground typically. But when you're looking at us, I mean, we're close to surface in oxides. If you compare it to multiple gold projects out there, you can see we have the grades and the scale here that really make this stand out. Running out of time, so I won't spend too much time, but we have a secondary project. Again, this is earlier stage, but Teck has just formed an Argentinian subsidiary specifically for this project here. We're very happy to have them as our partner. They'll be drilling this. They've already commenced drilling this, looking for a large-scale copper porphyry. This is in the San Juan province of Argentina. And you can see very attractive terms where Teck will be drilling this, making payments to us, and we're obviously hoping they find a large-scale copper porphyry, which we could keep a 20% stake in. So with that's a quick summary of AbraSilver. Look, I think our team has demonstrated that we've been very prudent over the last several years. We've managed to grow this project, a lot of growth ahead of us here, and I think at current valuation levels, just like almost everyone in this industry, represents a very, very compelling investment case. So with that, thank you very much.